Hey, Sedrick, hope you had a good Christmas. How have you
You.
seen Amarius Mims develop and grow over the course of this season? Obviously, Warren dealing with a little bit of injury right now, and I know Amarius has had injury of his own. How have you seen him improve over the course of this year?
I think Amarius has grown a lot. Just being completely honest, I think he's grown a lot in his confidence in game. Early in the season, he was a guy that looked really good in practice, and I know he had his struggles just because you kind of have anxieties and things like that. But genuinely throughout the season, he's really stepped up in a huge way for this offensive line. Really helped us out, really helped us play some meaningful minutes, and really has helped push his offensive line along. And I think that's happened through his confidence.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Mike Griffith. Go ahead, Mike.
Yes, Cedric, we've heard a lot about the Ohio State fronts. I mean, just how much movement is there and how much do they try to create confusion in there?
They do a lot of different things, a lot of different looks, a lot of different pressures, different things like that. So the biggest thing is just making sure that you watch film. It's going to be a big thing this week, making sure you can find indicators and different things of that nature to try to give you different nuggets, because if you have no idea what's going on, their defense can create some havoc for you.
All right, next we'll go back to Chip Towers.
Yeah, Cedric, I'm wondering, you guys got a lot of activities this week, go-karts and Ebenezer Baptist Church, things like that. Is that a tough balance when you're trying to focus on, such a meaningful game like this? Is it annoying, or is it a welcome sort of reprieve from all that?
That's a good question. I definitely want to say we appreciate the Chick-fil-A Bowl for giving us the opportunity to do all of these great things, but with all due respect to them, ultimately we do want to focus on the game and make sure that we're staying focused. But ultimately, I think it'll be good for some of the guys to kind of get an hour or two away and kind of relax. But ultimately, knowing what our goal is.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Jordan Hill.
Cedric, kind of going off of that, as someone who has gone through this, do you have advice for your teammates as far as kind of understanding how to balance all those things?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I've been trying to stress to everyone is just the use of your time. It can really get away from you. You kind of think we're in a hotel. It's not, typical just everyday schedule, just meetings and practice. But you really have to use your time wisely and understand that you're there for a reason, because before you know it, the game will be there.
All right, we'll go next to Zach Klein.
You're going to be disappointed if they don't have a go-kart big enough for you?
I'm probably already expecting that, to be honest. I've never gotten to do go-karts just because they've always been too small, but I'm kind of expecting that.
Next, go to Brooks Austin, please.
Yeah, Cedric, I'm just curious. You talk about all the multiple different fronts they play and whatnot. I guess with having a sixth-year guy like Stetson behind you, how much of the responsibilities are kind of shared between the both of you in terms of identification, alignment, and assignment, and all that good stuff?
That's a really good question. Genuinely, it's about being on the same page, because he may see things on film and I may see things on film, and it may change depending on who may have the last say so, depending upon what's going on. He may be able to see certain things that I can't, and I may be able to see certain things that he can't. So it's really just making sure that we're both on the same page and understanding that we may see two different looks or we may see two different things, but ultimately knowing the greater good of the play, what page we both need to be on. So that's usually the challenge week in and week out, just making sure we both kind of see things through the same set of eyes. And honestly, it's usually not a problem.
How often are you guys watching film together, if I may ask?
That's a good question. A lot of times may not necessarily be together, for the simple fact of he may be looking at more routes, coverages, different things like that. I may be looking at more fronts, movements, linebacker width, nuggets, different things like that. But what I can say is we do send each other a lot of things through text messages. If there's something I may think that he may have a problem with or something he think I may have a problem with, kind of send it to each other, make sure that we're on the same page communicating about it.
All right, next we'll go to Anthony Dasher.
Hey, Cedric, what's the biggest advantage from an offensive standpoint about playing in a venue for the third time this year?
That's a good question. But honestly, I don't think I want to kind of dive too much into the advantage. Just being honest, I think every stadium is I guess I want to say unique for the simple fact of you just have to go out there and play, your style of ball. I don't think you can get too caught up in, the advantages of the stadium, anything like that, because at the end of the day, this is a playoff game. Ohio State's going to come out there and give everything they have. So at the end of the day, those things start to even out. And it's all going to come down to who can execute the most.
All right, we'll take our last question from Jordan Hill.
Cedric, you guys were up for the Joe Moore Award again and wound up not winning it. Does that get talked about at all? Is that any sort of motivation going into the playoff?
That's a tricky question to answer that. We've definitely talked about it. We just want to keep doing what we can for this team.
All right, Cedric, I think that's it for you, buddy. We appreciate your time. Thanks very much.
Thank you. God bless y'all.